Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I was tagged in the Veggie Tales book tag created by a friend named Cait. Her channel will be linked below. So I used to watch Veggie Tales and I didn't know anything about it except it was about vegetables and like all about being moral and a good person, and there was songs. And it's just something that I had to watch at one of my babysitter's houses because there was nothing else. But I enjoyed it. So I was tagged because I said I used to watch Veggie Tales. So the first question is The Water Buffalo Song, a book that everyone loves but you haven't read. I am going to go with Daisy Jones and the Six. I keep meaning to pick it up, but I haven't. And then I was seeing recently that it's a lot of telling instead of showing, and now I'm on the fence about it. I'll probably get it at the library because I don't want to read telling instead of showing. I've read too much of that, so we'll see how that goes in the future. Number 2, The Hairbrush Song, a book you love but can't find anyone reading it. That's going to be Anything and Everything by Morgan Llewellyn, the Irish writer. She writes about Celtic mythology, legends, history, and I'm just the only one that is raving about her. Someone read it. Someone else read it, please. Just like any of her books. Number 3, His Cheeseburger, a book you're excited for but haven't read yet. And that's going to be The Descent of the Crane because the cover is gorgeous. I was immediately drawn to that book just based on the cover reveal that happened on Twitter when I saw it in real time. And I keep forgetting to buy it. That sounds like I'm not invested in this book. No, that it's on my book list on Amazon. I added it immediately when I saw it, and so it's kind of at the bottom. And I have like 40, 50 books on that wish list, so that's my reasoning why I haven't read it yet. Number 4, Dance of the Cucumber, a translated book that you enjoy or you'd like to read. Yeah, I don't really do translated stuff unless you're talking about classics, and then I think a lot of the translated books gets lost because you write it beautifully in its own language and then you translate it to blah English and it just doesn't work because English is weird, and the translated stuff that I've read that are classics, I'm sure are beautiful in their own language, but they're not in English. And sometimes the wording, the paragraphs long don't make any sense to me. Maybe because I'm dumb, or it's because it's supposed to be in Russian or French or whatever language it is, and now it's in English, and the beauty and the prose is lost. Like, I can barely speak English, and I tried Spanish for 4 years and a Spanish immersion program over the summer in high school. I tried Arabic and I tried Latin, and nothing sticks. So I'm just impressed with anyone that can speak any different language. I don't care if it's even like Latin or a language that only 500 people speak. It's really difficult. I could never read in a different language. Thumbs up to everyone who else can. And like I said, I think it's just better, personal opinion, to read in the original language because you pick up on a lot of more stuff that is part of that language, and that's why that story is so beautiful in that language. And here over with English, like, okay, and I just realized I'm taking a moment. I said Descent of the Crane. I'm so tired. I just realized I said it how many minutes ago? It's Descendant of the Crane. Descendant of the Crane. I can feel my eyes are just really heavy, and I'm filming because I was tagged in this book tag and I'm really excited. But if you hear any other mess ups, it's because my brain is just barely going. Okay, just putting that out there. Number 5, I Love My Lips song. A book you've mentioned in at least 5 videos, and that's probably, I wouldn't say books, but I've mentioned Morgan Llewellyn in 5 different videos. So I'm just gonna go with an author, Morgan Llewellyn. Shout out. Once again, for the 2nd time in one video. Number 6, The Pirates Don't Do Anything. A book that went differently than you expected. There's been a few that I'm reading it and then it gets to the end, I'm like, oh, that's a nice twist. Like, what book was that? Oh, so I gave the book away because it's a duology. I'm trying to remember what it is. Timeless? No. It reminded me of the Red Queen series. Obviously, it wasn't that, like, impressionable because 1, I can't remember the freaking title, 2, because I gave it away. But there was one twist at the end of that book that surprised me because this character was good and was a servant, and then it turns out that she's like the evil queen. And how the writer wrote that, I really didn't see that coming, and I gave that book 4 out of 5 stars because the twists that happened in the first book, the 2nd book was a huge letdown, and that's why I didn't keep the series, was actually amazing. Good for her. I just wish the 2nd book held up from the first book. Number 7, Barbara Manatee, a weird book you adored. A weird book. I would say Going Bovine by Libba Bray is pretty weird, but it's supposed to be weird, and I just like how the main character is forgetting stuff and goes on a last adventure because he has mad cow disease. That's a fantastic premise that, for Libba at least, makes a lot of sense because she can write so well with like weird ideas, and I love her ideas, and that's why she's one of my favorite authors. Number 8, I'm So Blue, a book that made you emotional. Pretty much all the books on my shelf that I keep have made me emotional. I don't keep books that don't make me feel anything because I don't feel that is worth my time. I will keep books that, even if I gave them 3 out of 5 stars because like the writing wasn't good at all, but they made me cry, well, I'm keeping it on my shelf. Like, sorry, but the Sookie Stackhouse novels, not written very well, but they made me feel something. Like, I read all of those books, I was invested. The writing was bad, but I was invested. And if I feel something, or if I cry, like if I cry, that's an automatic 4 stars for me, actually, even if like the writing's bad. If you make me cry, I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It's like the minimum I will do, because it's hard to make me cry when I'm reading books, so that's really important to me. Emotions when I'm reading, and that will guarantee me keeping that book instead of giving it away. Number 9, The Stuff Mart Wrap, Your Book Buying Weakness, which is fantasy, well, it's young adult fantasy, and anything about the Celts, specifically Ireland and Scotland. That's where I'm gonna go. And if I see like huge hype, like The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, huge hype, I will buy it. I like The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That was a 5 out of 5 stars. I really like that. Made me cry. Tried out The Cruel Prince because it was so hyped. That was a 3 out of 5 stars. That was a low 3 out of 5 stars. So sometimes the hypeness, buying into the hypeness, doesn't always work for me. But sometimes you get diamond in the rough like Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and that's where I think it's worth it, even if I read 10 other bad books that have been recommended by booktubers. There's always one that's really, really good. So the last question, it's not a question, it's a statement, is a tag, and I'm tagging Chanel. I bet she has watched Veggie Tales as an adult, probably, because she's cute like that. Thank you for watching my book tag all about the Veggie Tales. Thanks to Cait for tagging me. If you like what you just saw, please comment, like, subscribe, and if you want to get to know me or any of my writing, all that is in the description box below. Thank you so much and have a great reading day. Bye!